because this is something I don't even want to show it off online, but I want to show you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I bought a Transformer.
Whoa, I didn't know they still even made Transformers.
Do they ever?
Has Transformer technology advanced since I was a child?
Ages beyond our childhood. Ages beyond. I think the last time I bought a Transformer was either high school or college, when I saw like a little Beast Wars frog guy at a decent price. And I was real into frogs at the time, collecting frog figurines, stuff like that. Oh. I had this frog hat as a kid. I don't know if I ever told you about my frog hat. I should tell you about my frog hat sometime.
Did it like have eyes and stuff on it?
Yeah, it was a flat cap with a froggy pattern, eyes on the top, and then legs sticking out.
What a great hat.
I made it my whole personality for like 10 years of my life. I just wore it everywhere I went, and I was very easy to spot.
You were like Christian Schall's character on Bob's Burgers, with a rabbit hat, but with a frog hat.
Yeah. It was like even less cool than Louise. But they have like Transformers are so like complicated and amazing, and now the computer, like it looks like the toy. They make them so they look like the toy in their alt mode, and then you transform them and they look like the guys from the cartoon.
Wow.
Like they have that boxy look and ever. This isn't even a real Transformer. This is a third-party knockoff, because this isn't a Transformer character. It's a little thing that shoots out of Optimus Prime's trailer.
Oh.
Called Roller, and I was obsessed with the little roller that came with my brother's thing for years, and I found this out, and it like unlocked. I was like, that's it. That's the one Transformer I want, because
what does it transform into?
Into a robot.
Oh, of course. The robots in disguise.
Although it also, I got this and I'm like, well, they did that wrong, because obviously Roller should transform into a dog.
Right, because that's sort of what the...
And it would be Optimus Prime's, faithful companion.
Yeah.
Also, you know what else you can call little runabouts like this? Rovers.
It's like you should call the company.
I should. I want money for it. I want at least $50 from Hasbro for this idea. Yeah. At least 500. Yeah. I don't know how much ideas are worth. Yeah. 500, is that reasonable? I don't know. They're a big money company.
Just like 0.5% of the sales, and whatever that ends up being.
I don't even want to do math. Just like something. They got to give me something.
Yeah. Puppies in disguise.
We've got a secret here.
What?
Because it's Mab's here too.
Oh boy, just in time for Mab. You're just in time for
30-second intro. Secret guest. Secret
show.
No,
also the 30-second.
Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. 'Cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
the world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee, dee-dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Crafting, crafting, crafting with Joshi and Cubby. What will we make today? What is the dice of the day? Crafting, creating, collaborating. What would an octopus say? Trivia questions, hooray! Creating, clickbaiting, Can't hardly waiting for the crafting show. A crafting show with Cubby and Shoshi.
And tonight's special guest, Mab.
I'm special.
Yeah, you are special, man.
I appreciate that, you guys.
Aw. What a day. What a day.
I found a picture of the style of frog hat I wore for the
You
majority
did?
of my youth.
Incredible.
I would like to see this, please.
Yeah, because I realized, because I saw in the comments, somebody mentioned they thought of a bucket hat, and those are very popular currently, but they weren't out way back in the 1990s.
What?
Early 1990s, possibly the late 80s. Time is an illusion, lunchtime doubly so. But this
What?
is the hat.
That's the hat? Oh my gosh, it's so much cooler than I even thought it. It's so much cooler than I even pictured it.
I saw it in a store one day and I was like, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I bought it and then I started wearing it from then on. And then whenever there was a gift giving occasion, if somebody couldn't figure out what to get me, which happens a lot, I would get frog stuff, which is great. Like, frogs are real cool looking. Like,
yeah, frogs are really cool.
I ended up with a bunch of cool stuff with frogs on it.
My favorite, have you ever, like, frogs make different noises depending on what part of the country you're in. And the frogs out here make your sort of classic, like, rock, 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 like your classic, like, frog sort of ribbit sound. But on the East Coast, there are these frogs, maybe you've heard them, East Coast people, where they basically go like, bong, 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 bong. Have you heard those frogs?
We have, I guess, a frog breeding ground in the easement behind my house.
Oh.
And
it's the weirdest sound. You're like, what is that? Is it an instrument? What's happening here?
I hadn't connected the bong, but yeah.
Bong, bong, bong. That's my favorite frog sound.
Nice.
But I've been doing this like outdoor theater thing out here, and at night the frogs and the crickets are so loud. It's amazing. It's like a beautiful like background noise to all of the shows.
Loving you is easy because you're beautiful. Gong.
Easy.
Gong.
Yeah, exactly.
Gong. That's what that is. That's what that business is.
Oh.
It's the hey babe. Babe.
Babe. And then the crickets. I don't know if this is true, but my dad always told me they talk about the temperature. I do know that their frequency does change depending on the temperature, but I don't think they're like reporting the temperature. I think it's like
hot.
It just
hot.
Yeah, but like my dad was always that being like, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too cold.
Yeah, they are reporting the temperature, but they're not doing so consciously.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like we shiver. We're not shivering to report the temperature to people. It's just a natural byproduct of our bodies being cold.
Yeah, but apparently crickets are, if you get really good at their rate, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Also, that hat kind of made me who I am today. That was probably the first like overly whimsical thing I'd done.
And you were validated when you did that whimsy, which is what we want to encourage.
You must have been adorable in that.
I don't think so. You notice I'm not showing you a picture of me in the hat. I don't know if I have a picture of me in my hat. I've worked hard not to have any pictures of me as a child. Never liked that kid.
But he was pretty pretty cute in that hat, though.
Maybe I don't see it though. I see young Cubby, and I'm just like,
there's a picture of me I wish I could find. Like, I've seen it, but I don't know like where it is or where it exists anymore. But I'm like, I don't know, probably like 9 or 10, and my hair is like unwashed and like badly cut, and I'm wearing clothes that are like probably 2 sizes too big, and like the top clearly doesn't match the bottom, and like I'm probably doing one of these. I wish I could find it because I'm just like, that kid knew what was up.
My younger brother found a picture of me once. It's just all you see is this very chubby, very awkward child in a little bathing suit that's too small for him, and he doesn't even notice because he's not aware, and you just want to you just want to euthanize that kid.
You just want to give him a big old hug.
Just a big old hug that goes
big
into a
hard hug.
Just oh no, just sleep now. Just sleep. Nothing else. Just sleep.
Aww.
You look at that kid and you're like, oh man. Yeah, no wonder other kids didn't like him. That kid's awful. I feel so sorry for that kid, but also contemptuously so.
Maybe they've got a point.
They might just have a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess when I keep saying we were working through things when we wrote the bullying song, it was, I might be projecting that a little bit on you. That might have just.
Oh no, I was in that. I was way in that too, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. That was, I was like, I probably should have taken more baths.
Oh yeah, I did not get. Here is the thing though. I needed somebody to literally explain to me how stuff like that worked, and my parents were not prepared to have a child that couldn't figure out like.
I think same. Yeah, I think same for mine. Like, I think my mom was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you actually have to like teach children those things."
I was the youngest of our second youngest of 6, so by the time I came around, it wasn't just my parents raising me; it was my siblings.
Yeah, like, did you even meet your parents? That's a whole assembly line. That's 4 ranks above you.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think my little sister got the best of it because we were all, well, also the worst of it because like I think the younger kids get picked on a lot more.
Oh yeah, that definitely happened. It was like, yeah, your daily meetings. Allow me to.
But she definitely had the best hygiene of all of us. So
yeah.
It all evens out. I didn't think you came from such a big family, Mab.
How did you not know that?
I know. I don't know how. I can't believe we've ridden in so many cars together. I can't believe that information hadn't been exchanged. I'm the oldest of 4, which is not that big, but still bigger than
2. Bigger than 1.
I'm a middle child.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, like, it's funny when you're like in college and stuff and into your 20s and it like kind of gradually dawns on you that everyone feels like they're kind of the black sheep of their family. And you're like, oh, you're not though. You don't see it at all how much you're not. I've never felt like the black sheep of my family because I'm basically my family's curse.
They like you though.
I don't know how or why because I'm not able to forgive myself for the creature I was.
As the oldest, I am the most perfect. So
you had to be.
I had, yeah.
You got all the
and
discipline.
also I am. But
You know, I didn't want to say anything when I met your sister, but massive disappointment. You set the bar too high.
so not true. Hadass is the best of us. We all agree. Like we're all like, yeah, Hadass is the best. She's the best.
Hadass is kind of awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you've met her. She's great. She's the best. No complaints. She's the best of us. Yeah. Do you have so Mab, it's so interesting. Like I, as the oldest of four, like the only time I like basically never have had my own room. Like, because when I was very young, I guess I technically had my own room when I was little, but like my parents were on the road. So like my room was like their hotel room. So like I didn't really have my own room. And then when my brother was born, we shared a room. And then my other brother came along. And so the two brothers had a room. And for a very brief amount of time, I had my own room. And then my little sister came along and we shared a room. And now I'm not really comfortable. Like I've always had roommates. I've always it's only been the briefest amount of time where I've had like my one apartment all to myself. And I was like, I do not like this. I need noise. I need lots of people around. I need to share a space. But Mab, you have your own space. And you enjoy it.
Oh, I love my own space. Yeah, Maggie.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that you were roommates.
Yeah. Like for 10 some years.
I guess I haven't been to your house in I've never seen your new house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I've been here for almost 8 years, around 8 years.
Dang. Yeah, I think the last time I was your place, it was in the apartment.
I loved that apartment. And that was an apartment to myself, and it was magic, and I loved it.
It was beautiful. You really made it your own.
Magnus's landlord decided to sell the house he was living in, so he moved into the sort of guest room. It's not really a guest room. I made it an overnight room, but it was just like a glorified.
I've overnighted in that room.
Yeah. And so he moved all the stuff into storage, and then within that year I started looking for a house to buy.
Yeah. But yeah, but you do love your own space.
I do.
Yeah.
And growing up, I had roommates, and then as the siblings went off to college, we shifted who was rooming with who. And then, so when you have this many kids, there were strata cliques, right? So there was the oldest and the second oldest. They kind of paired off. The third oldest was kind of like the family pariah in a weird way. She ended up wanting to not do anything and just wanted to hide from people and read all the time, which, she was also the most confrontational. She was, definitely still is very confrontational. She went in a completely different direction than the rest of the family. And,
I can see that though, because if you are born with the desire to shut down and read and be alone, and there's a lot of people, I can see how that would go toward a more in your I am standing ground.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's she was contrary a lot. If we're all like, okay, the family's going to do this thing, and everybody get in the car, she's like, I don't want to. I want to go to this other place. And when, it's like you got 6 kids, 2 parents, we're like, yeah, let's go to the water park. Yeah. And then you have the one kid that's like, I don't want to go. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that you don't want to go, but don't stop the rest of us from going because we want to go. And you pitching a fit right now is not helping anyone.
No.
And she still does that to this day. with this day. Not water
Yeah.
park, but like
It's
oh,
hard.
let's go on vacation. Let's
It's hard to be the third when you kind of wish you were an only child.
She probably would have been great as an only child. Yeah.
Yeah.
You live to serve, Alice. You're so awesome.
Aw.
I mean, I do have a strong service instinct because of so the sister above me was the peacemaker because
They
she was
always
the
are.
eldest
Girl.
of the three. Yeah. So it was a boy, girl, boy. And the youngest boy is my brother.
I mean, youngest boy is a tough role to be
Yeah,
put.
his sisters used to dress him up like Superman.
Oh,
Right? And we made a brick wall out of shoe boxes for him to run through.
Oh, that's amazing.
that's so great.
Yeah, and then we would call him Christina, and he hated it.
I called my brother Josephina and he hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Josephina Greenalina did not like that.
But I will say, out of all my siblings, the absolute coolest and the best and the smartest is the one just above me, my sister, the peacemaker. I'm the peace killer. Peacemaker, Misty. She lives up in Rhinebeck, New York. And she's super, super smart. She majored in math.
Wow.
Majored in math. And now she is like an advocate for mainframes and used to work for IBM for like 25, 30 years.
Wow. Wow. What a cool woman.
She's amazing. Super smart and fun. And she, our relationship, we were the ones that were always rooming together growing up until finally enough kids had gone off to college that we each got our own room. And that was weird.
Right. It's so weird. There were like, when my family first moved to New Zealand, we lived in a house that let us all have our own rooms for like the first time ever. And I was like, what happened? And then also my mom came in and she's like, Shoshana, your room is so clean. And my little sister's room was so messy. And my mom was like, I'm so sorry. I thought all this time it was your fault. The room was messy. And Adas is like, no, that was all me.
I was the messy one. Still am. You guys don't even want to see my studio right now.
Oh, I'm the same way. Shoshi seemed like the terrible state I've lived in at different points in my life.
And it's organized chaos. Well, that's the thing is like my personal aesthetic is like I am anti things. I want like the bare minimum of stuff that I can possibly have. I would like to just be in like a big open warehouse with like one tiny bed and like one bedstand. And do you know what I mean? But I am also very comfortable amongst clutter. Like it doesn't like that's just like my personal space. I like it to be like the bare minimum and nothing. But because I lived amongst chaos and clutter, I'm also like very comfortable amongst that and it doesn't bother me. And it's like, this makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to live in like a warehouse just so I could fill it with stuff. Because like I like stop
for the longest time.
And explain, but I just like can't walk down the street without finding like a rock that I fall in love with and I need to keep forever and I need to put it someplace that I can see it. You can't put it where you can't see it because then it doesn't exist anymore.
I'd like to live in a like, so you have your warehouse that's like full of stuff and then I could be in like a tent, like right outside.
A warehouse in nature? I like it.
Well, I think that's why I like camping. Yeah. I think that's why I like camping so much because like I only have exactly what I need and no more. Like that's Ah.
I think that's why I can't stop thinking about car camping, because I've been thinking about what it would be like to camp in a minivan with a cot and just have a little setup. But it's basically I will be able to move my chaos with me everywhere. Like, it's perfect. It's I can go outdoorsy places with lots of trees and lovely shade, but I can also have random stuff that I don't need.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice, actually, Cubby. Rather than a minivan, a Honda Element.
I do not like SUVs, and I do not like crossovers.
Gotcha,
I feel
gotcha.
it irritates me how it uses space, because minivans and station wagons use space so well, and everything else is just trying to look cool. But
I love my Subaru.
yeah, also, I mean, I like the thought of car camping. I did live in a car for a couple of months when I lost place down in DC. But like, I don't fit in a standard car. Like I don't, like, the person they design cars for is definitely smaller than I am.
Although, Cubby, you drive a smart car.
And it's so well designed. It's
I know,
designed
that's
around the
amazing.
human frame.
Yeah, it's actually like, I got in it and I was like, this is so spacious inside.
It is. One time we went somewhere with some friends. We went to their house. I driven my smart car there to get into the passenger seat of a BMW SUV.
How tall are
And
you,
in the
Cubby?
smart car, I'm like this.
Yeah.
And in the BMW SUV, I'm like this. Like, luxury SUVs are incredibly uncomfortable.
Wild.
6'4".
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
I met
what?
you in person and I have not processed that.
Yeah, most people think I'm standing a little bit farther away than I actually am. No, a couple of things in it. One, because like, yeah, he can. Then David Darwin fit in my smart car.
Holy shnikes. He's almost 7
He's
feet
like
tall.
6'6", isn't he?
6'9", I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
He's
were
the only
walking out
person
of
I've seen in a
Nature.
recent lifetime that I've looked at and gone, you're tall.
He's a tall drink of water.
Oh man, there was someone else real tall, and I was standing with him and them, and it was so great. I felt so petite. But also I have a very proportional build. Usually when people are as tall as I am, they're lankier. They look tall from a distance, like but I don't. I'm just scaled up.
Yeah, that's true, because Victoria London Fog, it might be like if you're tall because your torso is longer, rather than, or like your legs are like, you might not be able to fit in the smart car. Yeah. Like I have short legs, but my torso is really long. So like, it's hard for me to get a good position in a car, like the seat position, because I have to be close enough that my legs will reach, but like low enough that I'm not like driving like this, because like I got little legs but a long torso.
Yeah, well, I have long legs, which is a big problem with smaller cars. I found out most smaller cars have the gas and the brake pedal coming down from the dash, which pushes them forward, which will be very uncomfortable for me. I found there's no way for me to get the seat far back enough. They don't make it that way. The smart car has the pedals right on the floor, so I think I must be like right at the limit of. I will say that Dave Darwin was not comfortable in the small car, but he did fit. But he fit. Was able to close the door and lock him in.
I fit.
And he's still there to this day.
Yes, and then I've trapped him in a walnut shell.
Oh,
poor Dave Darwin. Oh no.
Said, Dave Darwin, you may be a one-man sideshow, but can you fit into this walnut shell? Ha ha ha! Then I trapped him.
Ha 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 ha.
But it was funny. Liz and I were looking for a smart car for me for a long time, but we didn't know if I would fit in one. So we had to find one to test drive before, because they don't last on the market. They're very popular amongst the RVers.
And those are your natural enemies. Gotcha.
I mean, it's there's some competitive, because car campers and RVers are definitely not the same breed.
I do dream of someday owning an Airstream as far as RVs go.
A beautiful Airstream. Oh, there's a van that's parked near us that's like one of those old VW camper vans.
I camped in one of those. Not
and
nice
really? It's so beautiful on the outside.
They are.
They are so beautiful. They are very small though. That's a tight fit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's actually I love the look of Airstreams, but I need more room. Minivan with a cot, that feels nice because you're not permanently using it's very much like a stopgap kind of thing. I don't know. That is perhaps the next phase of my life.
Van living.
Yeah, the other one I like is just the aesthetic of it. I mean, Airstreams are very well designed, but there's what they call the canned ham campers that are super retro, that gorgeous aqua teal color.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
They're literally called, people call them the canned ham because it looks like a canned ham shape. The problem is having a giant partner and a paraplegic cat they're not conducive to traveling in one of those.
There's always the dream of the motorhome, is it GM? I don't know. In the 1970s is the only time in history that they made campers from the axle up. All modern RVs are on prefab axles and bases. But there is this incredible one. It's got an air suspension. It was huge. It's literally the best RV camper ever made. It's the easiest to drive, the most comfortable to live in. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm blanking on the name. Somebody I know on my Facebook just got one, is in restoring it. So every once in a while I get to see a picture dump of one of them getting even more beautiful.
Amazing.
They're so gorgeous. I do love the design of teardrops.
We actually went and sometimes we take some time when we're traveling and stop at those little trailer camper RV sales places, and we looked at some teardrops, opened it up, and we're like, oh hell no. But I like the concept of it. If it was just me, then be great.
Yeah, it feels great for a one person, because you got a little kitchenette in the back.
Yeah,
you got just enough space.
Yeah.
I one of my favorite places I've ever slept was on Gazella in the little ship bunks, and I thought I might be like a little claustrophobic, but it was like, no, it was like getting into a little womb. It was so nice.
Aww.
Yeah.
What level do you remember? If it was bottom, top,
it was
or
in the
middle?
It was in the forecastle.
Yeah, but do you remember if it was the bottom row?
Middle level.
Okay.
If I could get it. I like middle or top. If I could get it.
Yeah,
I never slept in a bottom one.
I don't know if I've slept in the bottom one. It is very cozy in there. It's just also really interesting because like each bunk is very different. Like
each berth.
Berth is very different. It looks like it's all going to be the same experience, but then you peek in and the shape of the ship itself is dictating how much room you have in like a very cool way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I have to sleep in here and all my stuff is in here, but like somehow it works and it's great.
GMC motorhome. Yeah, the GMC motorhome.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious, check that out because that is it's a 1970s and it is the pinnacle of modern motorhome design. They never did better than that. Like, and it's almost frustrating because it's like, why can't we have nice things? Like, why can't we have Sunbeam radiant toasters?
Or I've been watching these videos of these old refrigerators that are like so nicely made and like the trays like pull out like this and go back in.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And there's a little, in the side, there's a butter warming tray. So the butter stays room temperature, but you can still store it in the refrigerator.
What's the point? Help me out there.
Oh, so the butter is always at room temperature. So it's not, so like if you want it, so it's spreadable.
You can always leave it on the counter and have it be room temperature.
I think if it's on there, it kind of regulates it a little bit so it doesn't get quite as warm as if it were out on the counter.
I don't have air conditioning at my house and it's summer in Los Angeles. If I leave butter out, it will be liquid.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So it keeps it at like, I don't know, probably like 65 degrees or something like that. Whatever the perfect butter spreadable temperature is.
That's brilliant. But also, if anyone wants a great rabbit hole, the Sunbeam Radiant Toaster is from 100 years ago, and it's better than any toaster they make today. It can tell. It is, yeah.
Yeah. I really want to get one. Like,
it can tell how toasted the toast is. What? That's how it knows it's done, which means it doesn't matter if you put room temperature or frozen bread. You don't have to think about it. You just put it in and it comes out perfect.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
Mav, what are you working on right now?
I am working on a thing for Magnus. He is working out at CBS right now, and I don't know how much I can say. I'm working on a thing for Magnus, and I'm doing the graphic side of it right now, and I just sent him a proof just this hot second, and once it's approved, then we'll see if it gets built. He's making like a lounge area, and they want a sign for the lounge area. Like it's like a green room lounge kind of thing.
Cool.
Am I getting paid for this? No. When I agreed to do this, I had a job. But now I'm trying to figure out if I should bill them and mark it down on my CV as a graphic designer for CBS or something.
Yeah. never
Yeah.
going to check up on that.
Yeah,
They get
put
the
it on your
AI
resume.
They
What?
get
then
the
just-
AI algorithm to check up on it. No human's going to check up on it. You're fine.
Dude, I know we all diss on AI, but you know what I have read and have been using, and it has been working, is you can use ChatGPT, run your resume through ChatGPT and say, optimize my resume for this job and post a link to the job, get it past the ATS, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
And it outputs your resume in a way that the ATS likes. And I've gotten through three resume things that way.
I like using the system to game the system.
I will say that is a good use for it, and it deepens my hatred of AI because it just means you have to use AI to thwart the terrible AI they're using to block people.
And the best part is, I will post the job listing itself. It reads the job listing and then brings the qualities that are in the job listing out, highlights it for me. And and it takes like that. It's really quick and it is a game changer. Yeah.
I haven't had to look for a job with like a resume and stuff in a very long time. And I don't even know if I could have a regular job anymore. I think
You can. The last job that I got, did I ever tell you this? When I was interviewing for the National Wildlife Federation, at the end of the interview, that was the last job that I got laid off from. Not even a week ago. So this is where I am. If you guys got jobs.
I didn't know that. Oh man, you loved that job.
I loved that job.
Mm-hmm.
But they are downsizing everything. But but during the interview, the interviewer, she's like, okay, last question. Is there anything not on your resume that we should know about? And I was like, this is the moment. Do I say? And I looked her in the eye and I said, well, the fact that I used to be in a circus, a professional circus performer, is not listed on my resume. And then I went and told her about all the things that we did of like scheduling, booking, marketing, building our own promotional materials, coordinating tours, coordinating teams of people, building the website, the marketing websites, doing our social media, blah, 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 all of the things. And she was
I'm so sorry. I have to go really quick for 1 second.
Understood. But the woman was like, that's why I got the job. She said.
No, that is very relevant experience, and like that's the perfect way to express it too.
Yep. She said that it was the most interesting response that she had ever gotten. This is after I got hired and we were just chatting. She's like, that was the most interesting response I had ever gotten, ever. I was like, of course. And then she says, and the fact that you brought it back to the topics at hand just sealed the deal for me. And I was like, yeah, awesome. So then I was, I have had like a recruiter contact me. And then I'm like, I don't know if I want to bring it up again. Because the feeling I got from the other recruiter was a less comfortable environment to bring it up. So I think it's a case-by-case scenario.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because like with the wrong person, they'll just write you off because they'll be like, well, they really want to be an entertainer, so we shouldn't hire them. Or
I can't take this person seriously because clearly they've never grown up.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
I definitely hear you there.
And that last project when I was interviewed, everyone on the team was a woman. And it made me feel so much more comfortable. And that's for the National Wildlife Federation job. This last time I was talking to somebody, everyone on the team was a guy, and it made me feel a lot less comfortable.
I don't feel very comfortable if I see the whole staff is male or if the whole staff is white. Like, honestly, you're not going to have a good experience if you don't see diversity in the workforce. Like, it's going to suck. They're going to suck.
Yeah, and this is where I am. And if anybody's got leads, I will take the leads. But I am a pendulum right now, and my brain is. And one of the reasons I hopped on the show today was hoping to get me out of the nego pendulum side of things. So,
well, we'll do our best. Oh, my nibbling recently came up with maybe the best interview question. They've been managing an axe throwing place.
Where?
In Jersey.
We have one just down the street. Axes and O's. Yeah,
he's Bury the Hatchet. It's a chain.
I love the names.
And they're closing that location. Which works out pretty well because my nibbling has been an apprentice piercer at a tattoo studio, and they have enough hours that they can basically just start doing that full time. Which is a great transition, but they were hiring briefly, and they came, and I'm very proud of this question. It's a great one. It's for everyone. Technically, I should write it on a slip of paper so that possibly in a number of years we can pull it out of the talk bucket. But
talk bucket.
I'm going to break protocol, and I'm going to bring it to everyone because I think everyone's going to like this. If you were a wizard, what would your casting object be?
Describe what you think a casting object is.
Well, like, I mean, I can tell
like
you.
A wand. It could be like a toad or something.
Yeah.
I mean, my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me. It's my finger.
I'm a staff wizard, definitely. I love a good staff. And they were like, they're all about orbs. They were like, orb. If I were a wizard, I'd have an orb. Ooh,
my nose.
Oh, like Samantha?
Okay, I can't do the nose thing at all, but if I could, it would straight up be my nose. Cell phone.
Cell phone's great.
A cell phone is basically a casting tool, isn't it?
And see, I knew we would get such really great answers.
I love it. Okay, cell phone. That's the winning one right now. I'd be all like, yeah, let me just text my partner and let him know I'm running late. You get a rain of frogs. Okay. Boop, send.
I'd like to feel that because it's a wizardy cell phone, it's still very ambiguous in vibes, and like you can't just type what you want. That's too easy. It's still like a commune with the casting device. Like,
you think I'm not communing with my cell phone right now?
No, I'm just saying. I don't view a wizarding cell phone as a shortcut. I think it's just another fascinating interaction. Shoshi.
Yes.
If you were a wizard, what would your casting object be?
Ooh, great question.
Thank you. I thought of it myself.
like a
I
banana,
stole it from Riley.
like a
Banana.
or like a
With the potassium.
like a like a
Uh,
uh like
Huh?
like a carrot, maybe a carrot.
Like an ordinary carrot?
Yeah, just a regular ordinary carrot.
No, nothing
Nothing-
special about the carrot? Nothing
Just
No.
a
extraordinary? No? Just
no, just a regular old carrot. Any carrot, you just find any carrot you have lying around the house,
okay.
any old carrot at all.
Hi.
Yeah.
I am such an old lady. I'm pulling tissues out of my coat pocket, my house coat pocket.
Oh, do you have some Werther's Originals in there too?
I'm not that old.
That's
And-
I'd assume you'd have those strawberry candies
Ooh.
before
But
Werther's.
honestly, I'm big into toffee, so it would be Werther's.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Werther's is so good.
I feel like there's like the Werther's Original, those strawberry candies, and then those other candies that are like they have like they're like round and they have sort of like bumpy texture on them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look, hard
It's
candy.
just the hard candy.
But they
Yeah.
have like a gel center, but they're not the strawberry ones.
Oh.
I know exactly what
Or
you speak of.
or like licorice all sorts. I feel like those are all on like the same.
You know what I do have is a candy
level.
dish set out with like buttermint peppermints.
Ooh.
Well, you're getting there, Mav.
Oh yeah, there was no doubt.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope,
Like,
nothing wrong with
Old
those.
people have it figured out. I want tissues and candies in my pockets. Why have I not been having those in my pockets my entire life?
Right?
When
Once I
your
learned I
nose,
could do that, I was like, hell yeah, let me get on that.
when
Yeah.
your nose is runny, you go for your pockets looking for tissues and hard candy. Your body knows.
What's interesting is the reason I'm keeping things in my bra when I'm wearing a bra is like because I don't have pockets. I was like, the other day I was like, fuck, and I'm pulling tissue after tissue out of my bra strap, technically. But yeah, no pockets. That's why little old ladies keep tissues in their bra straps.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's probably why I haven't been keeping tissues and candies in my pockets, is because clothes for younger women have less pockets. Like the older you get, the more you're like, well, I'm just gonna wear these big old khakis with big old pockets.
That's why I've got this house coat. Like the dress
Yeah.
I'm wearing is super comfy and I love it, but it doesn't
no
have it's stretchy. It doesn't have pockets. So I start wearing house coats around the house all the time.
I wore aprons for a long time,
Yeah,
just
I
to like, give
I still
myself
wear
extra
aprons.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
But
a-
now they're making pants with pockets.
I have like a fishing vest I'll throw on if I'm crafting. So I have I can stick things in pockets.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good one.
Oh, Shoshi, there's some very important news. Do you remember that last week, Kitty and I were telling you about the adventure we had the night before that ended with the banana assassin hooking
Yes.
up?
Yes.
If you'd like to know what happens next,
I would.
someone has written a slash story on the Discord.
Someone who will remain unnamed.
I'm not going to say who. That would be cruel. I would
Unless
not
they
do that.
wanted the credit for such an amazing literary feat.
Yeah, if they want the credit, they should have it, because I still haven't like sat down to read it, but Paulo read us the beginning out loud last night at the Nat 21 pool party.
It was so good.
And it's just I'm good. So honored. You have no idea how bad I am at Discord. I opened Discord so I would read it, and then I forgot I had opened Discord. It just slipped my mind immediately. Oh, but I did think of a craft I recently did that I can show off.
And he was never seen again. I think also, like, I like when I work, speaking still of pockets, when I work on set, I have a little like mini vest thing that I wear that I really, really love, because I found, like, when you're working on set, you need to keep a lot of things in your pockets, but you, more importantly, on your waistband, you have to have like the walkie-talkie. And, like, usually a few other things. So there's not really, and you're bending down and sitting up a whole lot. So putting stuff in like the pocket area is not really that comfortable. But if it's like here on my chest, then it's like very comfortable. And I started with like a bigger vest, but you don't actually want anything like that loose on a set, because you're like moving around and sometimes you're like climbing behind things. So you want it kind of like tight to you. So yeah, I found that it kind of looks like a gun holster. But yeah, it's great. It's got like inside pockets, outside pockets, and it makes me look real cool.
I usually have a big bag with like everything I might need in almost any situation or emergency I might find myself in. But it's kind of heavy. And so in the summertime, sometimes I like to just switch out for a lighter bag. And I have this, which is wonderful. And there's only one problem I've been having with it, is that when I put my cell phone or my sunglasses in, which are the two most important things for me to carry around, I want them to be vertical. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I hate it when they slip down so they're horizontal and then they work their way to the bottom of the bag, and then I hate it. So I needed something to keep them standing up. So I actually made this. Oh, that's actually the back. This pocket thing, so that I could stitch it on. And I could have pockets, and because I was putting in a pocket, I was like, well, I'll give myself some extra pockets so I can organize a little. And I stitched it on, and it was more than twice as heavy. This weighs as much as the bag itself.
Whoa.
And I was like, well, that won't work. And it's a small little bag, so there's not a lot of room to do it. So I was like, well, I need to completely redo that. So I'm going to need to empty it to turn it inside out.
This is so interesting, because I think the last time when you came to visit me, Cubby, you had not done this conversion yet, had you?
I had not. It was actually wearing it around that made me realize how annoying it was. That was just the one little annoying thing. So I was like, well, I need a much lighter solution.
Yeah.
So an empty bag is a lighter solution for sure.
But that's not an option.
Oh, did you sew those in there?
Is a washcloth material that I found in LA at that like crazy Asian IKEA.
Daiso.
Yeah, Daiso.
Yeah, Daiso is so great. Oh, you got that here. That's so great.
So it's mesh, it's weights. I sewed a strap on the top just so it would have like I could feel where the edge is. And now, Do I not know where my phone is?
Hey.
Let me see if
Hard
I
to
can
do backwards.
do it. Yeah.
Freaking perfect.
So it holds it exactly how I want it. Keeps
It
it
doesn't weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
pressed up against the side. It didn't add pretty much any weight to it. It looks good. You can still see the balloons, kind of, which, I mean, it's inside. That doesn't matter.
And the phone can breathe.
I can always get my sunglasses. And I also put this little pocket on.
For writing implements or
A vape. Ah!
Well, I realize that if I have a vape, it's either wide and flat or long and skinny. So I made a pocket
That can fit either.
that can fit either. I can almost, it can just barely fit both, but that'll actually show you how the pocket's designed.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Cubby, that's so smart.
Shut up with your big brain there. Working out logistics and spatial relations.
Amazing.
What?
So this is my summer bag. This is just my go-to for the whole dang summer.
That is so nice. Yeah, I remember because you had already done some conversions on that bag when you came out to visit me, and I was very impressed with them. But
No,
now
it was still stock.
I thought you had added some stuff, some custom stuff on the inside. Or maybe that was a different bag.
Is that bag
That's
balloon animals?
Yep.
That's friggin' adorable. I just saw
And-
balloon animal underwear. That got my attention.
Oh, nice. What was it? Oh, I think the only thing I really need to do is this big label of the brand it is. I'll probably take that out and put a patch there instead, but I don't know which one.
You got a lot of good patches to choose from.
I do have a lot of good patches.
Yeah.
And I almost never want to use a patch. I just save them. I should use them more.
How do you like to, when you do attach patches, do you sew them? Do you iron on? What's everyone's opinion on patches?
Oh, I stitch them on. I just machine stitch them on.
Yeah. Because I feel like the glue never really works as well as you want it to.
I don't trust the iron on.
Yeah. I also I rarely have an iron on hand, but I usually always have like a needle and thread. Weirdly.
Yeah, I used to hand sew on all my Boy Scout patches.
Ooh.
That's the first sewing I ever did because
You got
my-
a patch.
And then
Yeah.
my mom just wouldn't.
And then did you get your sewing badge for sewing on your sewing badge?
No.
That's crazy talk.
I didn't apply myself much as a Boy Scout. Neither of my parents were involved. So I did notice by the time I left Boy Scouts that everyone who did advance a lot and do a lot of things had a parent that liked spending time with them. And
Yeah,
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, with other kids, I didn't have enough. There wasn't enough parents to go around for the 4 kids. So I was in Girl Scouts for 6 months because a different parent drove me with their kid to the meetings. And then as soon as they couldn't do that anymore, I didn't do Girl Scouts anymore.
I got rides. That was it. But honestly, I think they were pretty glad to get me out of the house for an evening a week.
I was full on Girl Scout all the way up to cadet.
Amazing.
I loved camping.
I did it for the camping. I loved camping.
That was the
love
other thing that
about
why
that.
I didn't stick with it, because whatever the troop I was in, they were kind of they didn't do much. If they had gone camping more, I totally would have made more of an effort to stick with it.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the socializing. The other kids did not care for me.
Aw.
No, I don't. When I say I was like an awful annoying kid, I was very autistic and didn't know it, and also smelled awful.
And also, it was a time period where like the world was very mean to children like that.
Yeah, I don't look back and I'm like, why didn't the other kids like me more? I was like, ugh, why didn't they just stone me en masse? Like, if anything, I'm shocked at the kindness I was shown by my peers, in that they didn't just throw knives at me.
Well, it was harder to get knives back then as a kid, you know.
Not in Boy Scouts, it ain't.
No,
They're
they
all
didn't
over
get knives. Actually, they were issuing knives to just about everybody.
Yeah, you're right. It was a knivey time.
Yeah.
You had to earn your Whitland chit, but it wasn't hard.
I had a knife.
Yeah, I had a knife too.
Knives. They
That's
didn't
true.
check for knives at school.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I like to have a little knife though, a little utility knife. My favorite one currently is from the Park Service.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got it. I was a tour like guide at Valley Forge National Park for a while, and they gave me a little utility knife, and it's great. Oh, love it.
Nice.
Yeah. One of my favorite
I'm lazy AF, which is why I machine sew patches on. Because it's done in 5 minutes as opposed to like an hour. Clumsy hands. Also, I do have like a million cool buttons. So
Yeah,
I know that pain.
Yeah, you have a bunch of really cool buttons for sure.
This is my button drawer.
Oh wow! I wish I could sew. You know.
Wait, you can't sew, Mab?
I can technically sew, and hand sewing I do better than just about any other kind of sewing. But as far as like, I sewed a pillow to my bed accidentally in home ec, and if I'm gonna sew something, I have to sew it, rip it, sew it, rip it, sew it, rip it, sew it. Like that is the standard operating procedure. It can't be done correctly the first 3 times.
I was for a while, because I was traveling so much, I didn't have like a permanent bed. I just had a blow-up mattress that like wherever I was staying, I would do that. And I was sewing some stuff up. And you know, a really common thing I do is when I'm, you know, if I need to stick my needle somewhere, I'll just stick it in the mattress. Can't do that with a blow-up mattress. I lost 2 blow-up mattresses that way.
I think that's how I sewed my pillow to the bed, is I may have done that, and then somehow
just like not thinking about it. I was like, oh, I gotta stick that. Not again.
Aw.
My wife was a Boy Scout.
Really?
Explorers. The Explorer program is co-ed. Which I don't think you can start as an explorer the same age you can start regular scouting with like tenderfoot or whatever. But it was fun. I have her old neckerchief slide somewhere because we went up to her parents' house. They were moving out. They had a big yard sale, and I ended up with like, I mean, they had a bunch of cool stuff. And I mean, you heard what I said about stuff. It's great.
I will say, as a longtime children's performer, the worst audiences are Boy Scout audiences. And it's not because of the kids. I mean, it is the kids, but it's 100% the parents, because they are the most like lackadaisical guardians of any of the groups. Like they're like, all right, kids, run around in the gym while we do a real boring intro that's really just for us. And then I got like sit down and watch the show, but also we're gonna like serve some food while the show is going on. And if the kids are like running around and interrupting, like we're over here having a conversation. Like
I got an opinion on who the worst audience is.
So hard.
I've performed for a few audiences of children over the years, and the kids are never the reason if
No,
they're
it's never
the kids.
Yeah. It's always
On the bright side, it means you can see it coming.
Oh yeah, you can prepare for it for sure because you're like, okay.
Well,
yeah. Okay, so help me out here. And you're right. Maybe it is the adults that are doing this, but the all-time absolute worst, and as a sideshow performer, the most dangerous audience I have ever performed for was a bar mitzvah. Not a bat mitzvah, but a bar mitzvah.
Oh yes. Also very difficult. Have done that as well.
Kid, I'm doing a bed of nails, and the kid jumped on me while I was on the bed of nails. Jumped up and down, and he was not supposed to do that.
no.
We had someone there with like
100% the guardians, because that event is like so many things have to happen for that, and there's so much responsibility put on the guardians that like they're like the children are like the last consideration in that kind of an event for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Not every place that children are children necessarily instructed how to act at assembly. Schools, daycares. I mean, I remember I did a show once for a giant daycare, hundreds of kids, and they all had the adults all had a meeting.
Oh no, that's the worst when they leave.
There was no parade, so it was just like, okay, we are gonna survive this show.
Best audiences are library shows, the best, because it's a mix of ages and all the parents are usually there, and librarians are just amazing, wonderful people, and there's something about a library that like makes you feel interested, and everyone like came there for the purpose. And like the really, I think the mix of ages helps a whole lot, because you've got like the older kids. There's something really nice I've seen where there's like an assumption that like if older kids are with younger kids, the older kids will be like, oh, I'm at a baby show. But it's actually the opposite. Older kids feel a real like responsibility for the younger kids. And then the younger kids want to emulate the behavior of the older kids. So it just has this like really awesome, like calming effect.
Which is why everyone in your lives, when you go out, if you were ever in an audience with different ages of children,
yes,
everyone assumes the best way to arrange them is the youngest closer so they get the best view.
Oh, yes, this is a great lesson.
But if you put the older kids in front of the younger kids are watching how the older kids are behaving and will emulate them. The most focused and calm all ages shows I've ever seen have been when you put not the teenagers, not like high schoolers, but like you put the fifth graders in front.
And you put the real little kids, like the kids that might like cry or need to leave or go to the bathroom, you put them in the way back with because usually the guardians is not the right word.
Chaperones,
adults,
advisors.
The chaperones usually sit in the back. So you put the real little kids in the back with the chaperones. So if they get scared, they can go to an adult. If they have to leave, they can leave really easily. And you sit them either further back enough that they can see over the other kids' heads. It's like it's a pro move.
It's amazing. Plus, I can tell you, if you have all of the youngest kids closest to the stage, and it's like a play with characters, the first minute is all of the more nervous kids freaking out.
Yeah, crying.
Because it's too intense.
Yeah. And they're like, and people might be in costumes or masks and they don't understand what that is. And it's like,
yeah. And they didn't, I mean, they were probably warned, but they don't know nothing.
This might be the first time they've ever seen anything like this in their lives.
Yeah.
Theater. What is theater?
So we did one of the first school. So when at the Shakespeare Theater, our first run of shows is actually school shows, which is great because it's sort of like nice like preview performances for us before we open in like repertory with like reviewers and stuff. But we were doing Midsummer and it opens with like a big fight scene, which is a great way to open a play. But I just remember there was this little kid sitting in the front. He must have been like, I don't know, 5, 6. And from the second the play started, he was like this. And then he was just like that for the rest of the show. It was so great. He was just like you could tell his little mind was like synapses were being formed the entire time. So great.
Yeah, oh, the other thing about having the younger kids further back is every once in a while, those kids gotta just run.
Yeah, they just gotta move around. They gotta wiggle.
There's like one kid that is gonna need to run at some point. And it's less distracting when they're toward the back and they can just kind of like run around a little bit and then settle back down.
And I got no problem with kids running and moving around. I'm never gonna as long as you're doing it in a not running towards a bed of nails, like you're or towards my vinegar and baking soda, like run around. You got the wiggles.
I'm all for a kid interrupting the show as long as they're not endangering anyone. One of the best Jack and the Beanstalk shows I ever did was it was in this park in this really weird area. We had trouble finding it. Everyone had trouble finding the location. Everyone. And then it was a small turnout, and we don't even know if that was everyone who tried to get there. But there was basically one kid. And so it's like, all right, this is going to be little did I know, because as soon as the ogre shows up, she jumped up, marched up to the stage, and said, no!
Amazing.
I was delighted. I mean, I had to be like, I'm an ogre, I'll do what I want. And I also tried to get, like, back on track as best I could.
See, my script shows are, like, not the best environment for kids because as Wedgie with the improv, they were encouraged to do, no, okay, what do I do now? And I put the ball in their court, and it was the best.
One of my favorite shows Kim and I ever did, there were 2 great little kid moments where one was, the end of our carrot story. We're like, and that's why you should never eat your vegetables. And this little kid stands up and she's like, no, you have to eat your vegetables. You have to grow up big and strong. And Kim's like, all right, thanks. I'll try. But then we also did this one, which we don't always do this story, but it's about like a big bad wolf. And Kim sort of is playing the Kimberly Cruz. She plays like a little kid in part of the show, and there's like a moment where she's scared and she's like scared to go into the woods, and this little girl jumps up from the audience and goes, are you scared? And and she's like, yeah, I'm scared. She's like, I'll go with you if you want. Kid's like, all right, hold my hand. And then just like took the little kid. It was so great.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
love kids. They are so cute.
Yeah, so good. So good.
Well, and then my favorite thing to do is just annoy them.
Oh yeah, you're great at that. That's my favorite thing that you do with kids. It's so great. Oh, so good.
I know I've brought this up on the on this show before, but I'm gonna bring it up again because I love it so much.
Anytime. It's my favorite.
My go-to thing with kids is I just brag that I know all of the numbers 1, 2, and 3.
Well, what about 4?
Doesn't exist.
This is the front part of the ship. That's not a number.
No, 4. 4.
We're standing on that right now. The 4.
What about 5? That's a number. 5.
That's not a number. Look, I know all the numbers 1, 2, 3. That's not one of them, and I'm pretty sure that's where bees live.
Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Ah!
I'll
You're
count
holding up-
them for you.
You're
1,
holding
2,
up
3,
one,
3,
one,
3.
1, 3, and 1, 1. I mean, look, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh, they get so frustrated.
You got 1, 2, and a 3. Yeah, it's like right there. I'm looking at it. 1, 2, and 3.
I have occupied kids for entire days with that. Like I've done like
how long you are.
festival walk around stuff where kids will storm off from me in frustration to come back 10 minutes later with a new strategy.
Hey, we got a raid. Welcome, Mountain Shade Raid. Is this our first raid?
Whoa! I think so.
My goodness. Well, welcome. We're a crafting show where we craft
Stuff
jokes,
and
things,
trivia,
stories,
and love.
many love. We craft love, forgiveness, justice.
Murder? Can we craft murder?
Little murder. Little bit of murder.
Like a
Speaking of
petite
murder, is
war?
this
Yay! These are great usernames. We've got Tourney Adventures. We've got Candy Coated Reality. Big Grove Walker. These are Vampire Bites. These are great names, you guys.
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Speaking of murder, is this Murder Beast that just wandered in?
Yes, he was sad that I wasn't sitting at the desk working because I don't do that anymore. And then he came in to see what I was doing in here.
Murder
Beast. Banana murderers. Oh, you just want to sit down now, don't you? Okay.
How's Murder Beast doing?
He's being a murderer, just like always.
Nice.
And so I had this little cat toy that's like a cat scratcher, and then you tap the little buttons, and these little mice pop up. I thought it was great, and I thought he would love it. He has nothing to do with it, and went back to shredding the paper that it came in. That's his favorite thing right now is paper.
Fair. My
Although
cat
lately, we're more likely to talk about sexing murdery bananas.
Well,
yeah,
that's
true. That's
I want to hear the Archie story, though. I love Archie.
Oh, Archie's favorite game is what we call Light Friend. There's like a window, which at a certain time of the day, if you open and close it, it does like a little like light beam on the floor. And he's like, yeah, gotta get that light beam. Oh, gotta get it. And he loves it. Like he asks for it. And the saddest part is when it's a cloudy day and he's like, Light Friend? We're like, no, like, sorry, we can't. We're like, but why no Light Friend?
Oh.
Why not? You're like, I don't know how to explain weather to you. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's his favorite game. Yeah, not into toys. We bought him little things. He has like a scratching post he kind of likes, but like Light Friend is where it's at.
How does your cat feel about ear knuckle?
What's that?
Knuckle,
Yeah.
Ear knuckle. That's his, like, he is so into ear knuckle.
Oh yeah. Oh no. We do a where you like kind of pinch, like
Yeah,
in front
I
of the
do that,
ear,
but ear
and-
knuckle. He
do a
goes
little,
nuts
like-
for ear knuckle.
Yeah. He likes a little. He doesn't really like stuff in his ears because he has too much earwax. So a lot of times we have to like clean it. So he just associates like in the ear with like the cleaning. But if we
He
do the
will
like,
ear knuckle for an hour if I allow it, and then I let him sniff his dirty finger.
and he likes an eye rub. He likes a
Oh
little
yeah.
gentle eye massage.
Oh,
He's a
buddy.
big fan of that. My favorite is when you can get it really into it and he does the like the blep little
Wait,
tongue.
kitten. Okay, so we have a Discord channel.
Oh.
You must share. It is required that you share photos of your kitten. Go to
Yes,
the
we need
Discord.
to see the tiny void kittens, please.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, look at this. I mean, I'm gonna be ear knuckling for an hour now.
Oh
Look at
yeah,
me.
here's the wait. Is this how you do it?
I think
Oh, you
Evelyn
did the Discord. You
did
got it.
now.
Yes, please join our Discord and post pictures of your void kittens. That would be amazing.
Okay, so face massaging. I am so into the I guess the ASMR videos of the head washing and the face washing. I'm
Of
so into
cats or
that,
feet?
and I have started looking for one here in Northern Virginia, where I am located. I think I found they're like coming soon to a spa near me. Those are the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. I do a self face massage a lot on myself,
Not the same.
especially when I'm like, because I live in LA, so it's a lot of driving. So I'll
You
do
do
like
it while you're driving.
yeah, when I'm stuck in traffic, I'm like, oh, I'll do a little massage here, and I'll switch hands and do the other side. Yeah, it's good. Feels nice.
Ear knuckle. Okay, more ear knuckle. Oh my gosh. The Nurse Jackie facial massage tool. Tell me more. Do I have to Google this? Is it something I can Google?
Oh, is it like from the show Nurse Jackie?
I'm
Ha!
guessing.
That would be amazing. It also murders you a little.
He's trying to murder me because I'm not ear scratching him. All right, no more ear
Oh.
scratching.
You should probably scratch his ears then.
Yeah, sounds like somebody needs an ear scratching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to do positive reinforcement of bad behavior. He thinks he can bully me into scratching as well here. Maybe I will.
So, Raiders, the crafts that we're working on right now is I have a beautiful old sweater which unfortunately has some moth holes.
Oh. Is this
in
another
it.
one from last week or the
No,
same
it's
one?
the same one. Yeah, that I'm doing. I feel like I'm pretty happy with the patching though, because you can
Yeah.
barely see it. Yeah, it's like doing pretty well. So I'm basically just like patching up all the little tiny moth holes. I'm almost done though, which I'm excited because I love this sweater. I feel so bad I didn't know moths were a real thing. They don't really have them on the East Coast where they eat your clothes. But like I thought it was like a thing they invented for cartoons. I didn't know moths actually ate wool if you didn't protect them. But now I know.
They do
And
on
I
the
have
East Coast.
I have
Yeah.
cedar and I store them in plastic now. But I'm like, I'm so sorry, sweater. I didn't know that was a real thing. I thought it was just Bugs Bunny.
It's not as common, but like if you have moths in your house, they will. Because it's the larvae that eat the wool,
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Yeah, but the cedar blocks really work. Once we got
Oh,
those,
yeah.
yeah. But
Don't
yeah,
do mothballs. Those are actually toxic for humans.
no, I hate them. I can't stand them. And they like, yeah, no, I don't
Last summer,
like them at all.
my next door neighbor, we have a fence, was hanging bags of mothballs in the tree to keep squirrels away. And it was such a strong smell. I was getting massively sick just swimming in my little backyard, tiny little,
Yeah.
little thing.
Oof. And they don't even really work that well. Like, just use cedar blocks.
Well, he wasn't keeping moths away; he was keeping squirrels away.
Oh, but also humans.
Yeah.
Wait, you've both smelled mothballs? How do you get their little legs apart?
Well, first I used pliers, and I found that was a little bit more destructive than what I wanted. I ended up going with the toothpicks method, but I had to have like 2 little toothpicks. But and then but then if they were like too pointy, I kind of had to go in from like the top angle and then kind of nudge it in there and then kind of separate it. It was a whole thing. It did take some trial and error, but I got there.
Yeah. Is there some sort of crossover between like a flea circus and a moth?
Oh,
Like a moth ball, like a cotillion, like a moth cotillion.
Not gynecology. What would it be for?
moth proctologist.
Testology.
But you know what? That is such a beautiful thing. Instead of a flea circus, make a moth cotillion, a moth ball.
Mothball.
How brilliant!
Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
Also, I sometimes I do love my brain because cotillion was definitely the best way to clear up the word ball.
I've been interested in creating a flea circus. It's not anything that I have the tech to do. I know a guy who has built them in the past. I've reached out. He wasn't taking orders at the time, but maybe I'll reach out to him again and intrigue him with not a flea circus, but a moth ball.
A moth cotillion. I love a moth ball. That's so great. You could do little dances. It'd be so good.
It's great because if you have any debutante moths, they can make their debut.
Mm-hmm.
A moth quinceañera.
not to be confused with etymology, which is,
words.
And people who cannot tell the difference between entomology and etymology bug me in ways I find difficult to put into words.
Which is one of my favorite little wordplay jokes.
That's a good one. It is a good one. Look, it's a classic for a reason.
This is the robot Roller turns into from earlier.
Oh.
Nice. That truly is a robot in disguise.
Yeah, what a great robot. Transformers are so good now.
Is that an Optimus Prime or someone else?
This isn't even a real Transformers character.
Nice.
This is a Transformer that was made out of in the form of an accessory piece for Optimus Prime.
It's like Optimus Prime's buddy.
It's a little roller.
Valet? It's like his valet? Like his butler?
I mean, kind of, because it does have the ability to pull the trailer if he needs the trailer to come to him.
I'd rather you didn't, buddy.
Like a port robot go? No, that's
a little murderment.
Oof. I'm sorry I even attempted that one. That's not right.
Thank you.
Like some sort of robotic stevedore.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word means.
You don't know what a stevedore is?
Mm-mm. Is it like a humidor for like Steve's?
Yes. It's
No.
I believe, well, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's a type of luggage, yeah?
Nope.
Oh, I'm wrong. What is a stevedore? I guess I don't know what that word
Is
means.
it a hat?
Nope. It's a job.
Oh.
Is it like a sommelier, but for Steve's?
No. Again, like just being named Steve, you don't need different equipment. If you have a lot of Steves, you can just put them in a regular body locker or wherever you usually keep your corpses. I'm blanking on the better known word. So
Porter?
porter, but specifically people that unload stuff from ships.
Ah, okay.
I'm blanking on that.
But like a ship porter.
It's a pretty common. I think I might have to look this up.
Not maitre d'. It's like the hotel person that brings your bags, but for ships.
No, for not for luggage, for like shipping.
Oh,
for cargo.
Is it the big thing that goes?
No, it's what you call the person who does it. The job title.
Does he like carry them out, or is he the one that operates that big awesome crane?
Well, I think it's an old word. I think it was back before there were cranes. But now it would be the crane person, potentially.
Well, it was before there was a crane, but that would be the union that person would be a member of.
Ah, stevedore union.
No. The word I can't remember.
Oh, I see.
But like there is a word for the job of taking things off of.
Yeah,
ship.
there is. There is. What is that word?
It's something. It's for some reason my brain is throwing roustabout at me, which I know is the circus.
It's like a roustabout does this job in the circus, but you want the same job on ships.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Like a roadie, but for ship things.
Yeah, because the roustabout sets things up and takes things down. This is specifically there's a job.
Also carries gear.
Yeah, but that's only part of it. And there's no, like, they don't do anything to set up. I'm blanking on it, but a stevedore is the person who takes the goods from the ship and gives it to the dock worker.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I was thinking dock worker.
Yeah, it's a dock worker, but there's a word for it.
We've only been dwelling on this for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm not giving up.
No. But also, so we have maybe about like 20 more minutes. Do we want to do any trivia before we go? Cubby, you got to find the name of this thing, though.
Yeah, I gotta find the name of it. I can't find trivia cards too. I gotta.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's the priority. We have to figure out what the word for this is.
Roustabout came to head just because it's a similarly
Wellerman?
old term.
Yeah.
Longshoreman?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I might have been trying to think of longshoreman.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
So the stevedores work on the ship, and they get it to the longshoreman. Then the longshoremen take the cargo and actually get it to the next.
Okay.
Like if it's going out on a train or whatever.
Yeah. Whew. I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm checking the Discord now. Do we? No, we don't have pictures of the cats yet.
That's all right. That's all right. I think the person is working, so it might come at a later.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn Evermore. Wellerman is.
What is a Wellerman?
A Wellerman is a company representative who goes to whaling locations delivering goods.
Wow. I love to know that, Cubby.
Well, because the Wellerman song was big a couple of years ago.
Right.
Oh, when all those sea shanties were going around?
Yeah, and Wellerman started it.
Huh.
Soon will the Wellerman come.
Right.
Give us sugar and tea and rum.
And give us Wellerman's.
So they're like a representation of the company. They come with the supplies you need. Soon when the tonguing is done, that's the dissembly of whales. So they like come, they deliver these goods, and they take the whale oil in return.
Ah.
All right.
I'm glad you said that because I thought tonguing was like a whole other thing.
Oh, it is that too, but in this particular use,
Okay, fair.
it's
We take our leave and go.
yeah. There's not really another reason to know the term Wellerman, I don't think.
Yeah. I love that I always learn something in the crafting show.
Seriously, same.
Always.
You know, it's been nice. I get to watch the show, you know, keep it on in the background while I was working, and now I get to be here in person.
Yeah.
And my workspace is taken up with a murder beast, so I have to stop working because that little punk, look at this little son of a bitch.
Well, sometimes they just know. They know when you need to stop work.
This is the area that I had to work.
Murder Beast is like, I believe your job is here. I believe your job is petting me. And you know what? Like they know when you need to take a little break and pet a cat.
It is our normal cuddle hour.
Yeah.
She's purring.
That is exactly what Murder Beast is saying.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
A sucker for the kitty bowl. Ugh. Oh, buddy, come on.
Victoria, some tonguing will never be finished.
Trivia?
Yeah.
We can't do our talking topics and crafting without a spot of the old tea. You know, Rivia.
There's a thing I'm looking for really. Okay. All right. I have to read this. We've got cats on the brain, so I want to read this cool thing. All right. So there's this really interesting Czech writer who wrote in like I think it was like the late 1800s. Wrote Rossum's Robots. It's like the first play about that. Like,
R.U.R.
Yeah, R.U.R. Yeah.
Rossum's Universal Robots.
Robots. Yeah. So he's like a really like one of the first sci-fi play writers from that area, Karel Kapek. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. But he wrote this really amazing little short essay about a cat, and I have to read it to you because it's like one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. Okay. It's called From the Point of View of a Cat. This is my man. I am not afraid of him. He is very strong, for he eats a great deal. He is an eater of all things. What are you eating? Give me some. He is not beautiful, for he has no fur. Not having enough saliva, he has to wash himself with water. He meows in a harsh voice and a great deal more than necessary. Sometimes in his sleep, he purrs. Let me out! I don't know how he has made himself master. Perhaps he has eaten something sublime. He keeps my rooms clean for me. In his paws, he carries a sharp black claw, and he scratches with it on white sheets of paper. This is the only game he plays. He sleeps at night instead of by day. He cannot see in the dark. He has no pleasures. He never thinks of blood, never dreams of hunting or fighting. He never sings songs of love. Often at night, when I can hear mysterious and magic voices, when I can see that the darkness is all alive, he sits at the table with his head bent and goes on, scratching with his black claw on the white papers. Don't imagine that I am at all interested in you. I am only listening to the soft whispering of your claw. Sometimes the whispering is silent. The poor dull head does not know how to go on playing. And then I am sorry for him, and I meow softly in sweet and sharp discord. Then my man picks me up and buries his hot face in my fur. At those times he divines for an instant a glimpse of a higher life, and he sighs with happiness and purrs something which can almost be understood. But don't think that I am at all interested in you. You have warmed me, and now I will go out again and listen to the dark voices. Isn't that great? Like, I love it so much. I love that, like, it's the only game he plays. So good.
I like how the cat knows paper but doesn't know pen.
Yeah. But like that makes sense because the cat loves to eat and shred paper. They know the word for paper.
Hey, Shoshi.
Yes, Cubby.
What city's diners chow down at Jimmy's favorite seafood, Boog's barbecue, and Krabby Dick's?
What genre of trivia is this? What flavor of trivia is this?
This is from Trivial Pursuit Gina 6.
Ooh, okay.
The category is PP. I assume that's people and places.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Read it again.
What city's diners chow down at Jimmy's favorite seafood, Boog's barbecue, and Krabby Dick's?
I feel like it's got to be like Maryland, right?
Ocean City?
Like crabs. Is it city or state?
It
City.
says city.
Yeah. So like Baltimore? Maybe you're right, Matt. Maybe it's Ocean City.
I mean, it's maybe. I mean, it's definitely a touristy place.
I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen Krabby Dick's in Baltimore.
Krabby Dick's? I don't think I've seen any of those places in Baltimore.
Oh, maybe I'm making it up.
Krabby what?
I don't know. Krabby Dick's sounds kind of familiar, but it's very like the Outer Banks are filled with places that are named like that.
Also, this is Trivial Pursuit 6. So what year is that from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah,
It could be a chain that doesn't exist anymore.
Could be. That's
Oh, wow.
true.
I'm gonna guess Baltimore. I don't think that's right, but I'm gonna guess Baltimore. Oh, for those of you who have never played trivia with us before, here's how we play trivia. Cubby reads the questions, but we save all the answers to the end so he can play as well. If you think you know what the answer is, go ahead and write it in chat. We will try, and we know there's a delay, so we'll try and give you some time to write your answer before we shout out our answers. We're all playing together, so if anyone gets it right, we all win. If anyone gets it wrong, we all lose. We're going for neutrality.
I'm gonna say Miami.
Ooh.
It was between that and Tampa.
Good. That is a good.
That's
a good guess.
I feel like it might be Floridian, although it does remind me of a tweet I've seen, which is every French beach town has a little cafe called Le Nautilus, and every American beach town has a cafe called Krabby Dick's Big Slutty Crab Shack.
Yep.
It's so accurate and true.
Yep.
That's really good.
Concur.
Who recorded her breakthrough album Relish with the help of two former Hooters?
Like Hootie and the Blowfish or Hooters like the wing place?
It does not say. It just says two former Hooters, and Hooters is capitalized.
And spelled HOOTERS.
Yes.
Relish.
This does sound totally like the wing place.
Yeah, it might be.
Pass.
I'm gonna say-
Thank you, Ella. Huh?
I'm gonna
Pass.
say Paris Hilton.
This is tough. These questions are super hard.
Yeah.
Don't make me Google this.
Or is that like a sports team?
It's arts and entertainment, so it shouldn't
Oh.
be.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to just Google stuff because this is driving me nuts.
What?
Well-
No, you have to wait to the end.
We'll get to the answers eventually.
Yeah, you will find out.
Too late. There is, in fact, a band called the Hooters.
Oh.
It
Mm.
looks like they're from the 80s, mid 80s.
I'm still gonna say Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I just needed to know when the Hooters were a band.
Yeah, yeah. When and if.
What creatures pulled Santa's carriage to Herod's in 2001 when his sleigh was grounded due to the hoof and mouth crisis?
What?
Is this a movie reference or is this a reality? It really
This
happened.
is the category is history. So
What?
this is real, okay? This is when Santa couldn't fly his sleigh because of rampant hoof and mouth disease amongst the reindeer population. I'm going to say horses.
Yeah. I'm gonna say moose.
I'm gonna say dogs.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh.
Good guess. Good guess.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Puppies. Oh, puppies.
Little puppies. Little Saint Bernard puppies.
Oh.
What planet's name did 11-year-old Venetia Burney coin while munching breakfast with her granddad in Oxford, England?
Uranus.
Man.
I mean, it must have been like a high fiber breakfast. So I'm going to say
Great.
Uranus.
Great guess. I'm gonna guess like C42E.
I mean, it's got to be one of the outer planets, obviously. Like, we named most of them a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the most likelies are Neptune and Pluto.
I believe it was Pluto because I think it was named after the dog.
Maybe
Oh,
Charon?
I kind of still want to
No,
say
that's a moon.
Uranus.
Yeah.
I still
it
want to
is.
say Uranus.
I think that's the correct answer, even if it's wrong, Mab.
Yeah.
It's a moral victory.
I'm just glad somebody said it immediately because that just restores my faith in the three of us.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting fidgety because I can't work right now because he's on the thing.
Okay, this is next is a sports question.
Okay, so
Who
we're
was-
not gonna know it.
Right. Who was the first man to manage the Colorado Rockies and the 46th to manage the Chicago Cubs?
Manage.
I don't know.
Bull Durham.
Great guess.
I mean,
Kevin Costner.
Bull Durham's not
Ted-
a person. It's
Ted
a
Lasso.
reference to the ad that used to hang over the pitcher warm-up. It's a tobacco brand, a chewing tobacco brand.
Mark Twain.
I have no idea. It's Yesterday's Night isn't watching today,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was
Our
our
one-
only shot with baseball questions.
Yeah, our one person that watches the show that knows sports.
I'm gonna stick with Kevin Costner and Bull Durham.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
the
still a great
natural.
guess. Oh, we're doing move. Oh wait, no, it was the manager though. That means it's Wilford Brimley.
Oh yeah.
Wilford
Yeah.
Brimley. Yeah,
Wilford Brimley.
yeah.
What percentage of Diet Pepsi is made of according to a 1990s ad?
Ha! Now I
I'm
want to see
guessing
that
like
app.
0 or 100%. Like, I'm
No,
saying 100%.
10%, anywhere between 1 and 10 and
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
and 1,000.
Is the does it have a question mark?
Nope. Just in quotation marks. So you know they're referencing the
Yeah. I'm gonna say 100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Are we ready for some answers?
Answers. What will they be? Answers. We're going to see answers for you and me. Answers. Let's go.
Hey, Shoshi.
Yes, Cubby.
Baltimore.
Hey, I knew it.
Wow.
I
Good
knew
job,
I'd seen a
Joe.
Krabby Dicks in Baltimore. I knew it.
Joan Osborne.
Oh, I was pretty close with Paris Hilton.
Is that like one of Ozzy Osbourne's offspring?
I
No.
believe it's his wife, right?
Nope. No, it's the singer-songwriter who had a hit with was it If God Was One of Us?
Oh, that
Really?
Joan Osborne. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Two former Hooters.
Very much a recent thing. That I think lets us know that, and mentioning the year 2001, I think lets us know it's very much the time period of these cards.
Right. Early aughts. Waistlines were super low.
Oh,
Why did we ever do that to ourselves?
yeah, that was a big time for eating disorders.
And everyone's hair was very unhealthy and like dry and flipped out at the ends. Eyebrows were super thin.
Yeah.
Oh, they were so thin.
Why did we do that?
I don't know. That was a weird it's weird because for the longest time I was like, the aughts didn't even have a look. And then I could see it and it was like, oh no, it was not great.
Yeah. Oh, and we hated women so much in the early aughts.
Well, I mean
when not just the early aughts, but
yeah.
Always.
That's kind of go-to for culture.
Yeah.
Horses.
You
Horses.
called it. Nice.
You said horses, right, Cubby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horses.
Pluto.
Good job.
Pluto. Nice.
Victoria
Victoria
London
London.
Moore. Yeah, good job.
Don Baylor.
That's the
That sounds like a
sports
made-up name.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give us half points for saying Wilford Brimley because
I feel like that's more made up than Bill Durham.
yeah.
Bill Durham sounds like more of a real name.
Yeah.
And Diet Pepsi was made of 100%.
Right. That's right. I knew it. If you're gonna have a percentage in a commercial, it's gonna be 100%.
Or 0.
Or 0, yeah. Gonna be
Or
either
99.44.
but only those three. One of those three.
Well, I mean, like that was Ivory's big thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Pure.
99.44% pure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give me what the 0.56 pure. What is it? What is the 0.56% made of?
Poison. Straight
Poison and
impure.
feces and offal
Yeah.
and
Like a little Ebola. Some Ebola.
medical
Ooh.
waste and radioactivity.
Hot dogs.
A few
and
hot
all of
dogs.
the byproducts that come in hot dogs.
Yeah.
But supposedly that is why it floats.
Air.
Because it's
Okay,
less
buddy.
dense.
Because it's so much
So
soap.
pure.
It's 99.44% pure soap, which is lighter than water.
Oh.
They also had a campaign where it was like so pure it floats, I think.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's-
I remember I want to clean as real as ivory. It's got to be real, that's for sure. I want to clean as real as ivory. It's got to be 99.44.
Nice.
Percent pure.
So
Yeah,
that's like somebody went up to the ad campaign company and was like, okay, we need you to write a jingle, but hold on now. You have to rhyme something with 99.44.
They're like,
Can
I
you do
got
it?
you.
I got you.
I got
Yeah.
you. All right, my
Thank you.
friends. I believe we are at time. This has been a lovely time. We got some work done. We got some cat scratches done. We learned some great words like stevedore. Until next time, make sure to join the Discord, and hopefully there will be pictures of tiny little kittens on there.
And on the Discord, there is erotica.
But that's
Sorry.
the 18 and above channel.
Yeah.
You just
Oh, is this banana erotica?
Yeah.
banana
Oh
erotica.
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Can't wait.
It's-
Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh no. Looking forward to that. All right, everyone. Goodbye.
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 Crafting, crafting, crafting with Joshi and Cubby. What
And
will
Matt.
we make today? What is the dice of the day? Crafting, creating, collaborating. What would an octopus say? Trivia questions, hooray! Creating, clickbaiting, can't hardly waiting for the crafting show. A crafting show with Cubby and Shoshi.
And Matt.